Hi there, today we are bringing you a new video and it's going to be Gates of Antares. Yes, it's right, we've actually got around to painting our first Antarian figures. And these guys are part of the Ghar army. They are the basic
robotic
type. It's the Ghar Assault squad, this particular unit. There's the commander whose helmet has he's got a different helmet, and I painted a little white thing on to show that he's the commander, and two normal bots. Inside each of these is one of these guys who controls it, basically, quite effectively. And that's about it. They're quite well equipped. They've got themselves a gouger, plasma claw and a disruptor discharger, and they're pretty good.
Yep.
They're pretty tough, pretty hard to kill, and pretty good at killing people. You will find out how good they are at killing people when we do our first battle report, which will be coming up. I've got quite a few bits to paint up before we get around to doing a battle report. I'm not the sort of person who likes to play with half-painted figures. I prefer to have entire squads painted before I start playing with them. I know a lot of people actually start playing the moment they get them out of the box when they're all plastic and metal, but we don't do that. In the front here you can see an additional figure, and this is Fartok, which is the coolest name of any character ever in any game ever. I mean, it's just such a cool name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and here he is. He's a sort of gangly sort of chap, and he's got some nice headgear on. I really like this figure. Fartok is actually one of the characters out of the rulebook. If you read the Ghar army list, you hear how Fartok pathetically failed to defeat the Algarin and got shouted at by his commander, and he cried, didn't he?
Well, no, he's there.
Well, he's there. This is before he lost. Right. Paint scheme. Now, I like to paint my figures how I like to paint them. I know there's lots of different colour schemes that people use, but my thinking behind this particular army was that basically they're machines. They're a robot army. They're a machine army that, well, it replicates, clones creatures to use as brains, and it mass produces mechanical devices to fight wars with and do everything else with. So they've not gone in for colour schemes. They're basically as it comes out of the factory. So they're just gunmetal silver, or gunmetal silver mixed with some black to give it a slightly more darker gunmetal, and then dry brushed over with gunmetal, and then all the brighter colours are in light blue. And the main reason I picked light blue, I was going to do orange originally, but we've decided to do Gates of Antares on snow as a theme.
We found these boards.
Yeah, we found these boards in the basement, which I made up for. Yeah, I made it for 40k many years ago, and I've never had a chance to use them since.
Space Marines and Tyranids on it.
Yeah, because all my Tyranids were in snow. So, you know, all my Space Marines Tyranids were in snow. But we haven't done 40k for years, and these boards were just
abandoned,
stacked in a corner, and we said, you know what? I wonder what those boards look like, and I took them out, and they were perfect condition. So now we've got some playing tables.
Yep.
Another thing is with our Hail Caesar stuff and our bolt action, we've got a lot of scenery in desert. We've got a lot of scenery on grasslands, in woods and stuff, and so we decided we needed something completely different.
And considering it's winter.
Yeah, considering it is winter, and we live in Britain, where it snows a lot.
Oh, it's just cold all the time.
It's cold and snows, yeah. You get, well, actually it's cold in summer in Britain. It's
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, actually is. We're not really in the coldness.
Well, it's funny
because
in winter we go down, we sometimes go down south, and when we go down south we're walking around in t-shirts because it's warm down there, and everyone down there is wearing coats because they think it's cold because they don't live in the north. It's surprising how much a few hundred miles makes a difference to your tolerance to temperatures.
Like in Spain.
Like you go to Spain and you're just hot all the time.
It's winter.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So these are the basic Ghar troops. I think that they're quite interesting models. I know Rick wanted to keep away from the Games Workshop-y style of figure, and he's done a really good job. They've done a really good job. The design team over at Warlord in coming up with these guys. They are tripods. They're three-legged, which is unusual for.
It looks like a combination of different things.
It does. It does. I mean, you can see bits of 40k in because these guys make 40k stuff, so that's what they did for a living, and so you can see elements of it coming through, such as the hanging cables and things. Yeah, but that's pretty much common in most things you get nowadays. But it looks nice and sci-fi, and it doesn't look overly sci-fi. I've got quite a few figures who either like this chap who is from can't remember what it's from now. Go and ask Mum what that's from. I've just done a huge I'm doing a huge army for a chap at the moment, and I'm painting them all up, and he's wanting them in sort of deserty wasteland colours, and so getting used to doing that sort of colour scheme gives you a few ideas for doing your own stuff. It's always interesting doing new colour schemes, although with this particular army, well, there he is. Who is he?
They're from...
No, careful.
They're bought from... Infinity.
That's it, Infinity. You know, oh God, I should have a better brain.
When you're recording a video, your brain don't work.
Yeah, I've done loads of Infinity stuff recently, and these guys are in that colour. You can see the multiple camo that's on it. It's quite an interesting paint scheme on this guy. The bikes, particularly, the Infinity do a woman sat on a bike with a sort of machine gun, and it looks brilliant. Unfortunately, I've already sent that to him, so I can't show it you. But having experimented with those with colour schemes, it's been quite interesting doing it. What? No, it's not. It's just some calendar. Yeah, that's not Infinity. Sorry, my wife just annoyingly bugged me, and she's trying to show me other stuff I've got to do, which includes this rather lovely little carrier for Drop Zone Commander.
And if you want to know where you can see these...
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hot Games. If you look Hot Games up, he's also got a place on eBay you can get a lot of stuff from, which is probably easy getting it down from the shop, to be honest, most of the time. He does loads of stuff for Hot Games. We do a lot of Hot Games stuff for Drop Zone Commander.
We've
got all the scenery and everything.
One day, I think we should do Drop Zone Commander one day.
We've got all the scenery for it.
Yeah, we'll just you know.
Yeah, which is we never got around to actually collecting the game because we're too busy painting everybody else's Drop Zone Commander. We don't get time to do our own Drop Zone Commander. This is the downside to running a painting service. It gets in the way of your gaming. But I don't mind because I love painting figures, and I love when people want different weird colour schemes. I like doing them. You
do your work, I go upstairs to do my work.
Yeah, you do your work. So yeah.
Actually, no, I have been doing my work for a while.
Yeah. So to do the colour scheme for this, it was really down to a very simple metally Terminator's kind of look.
The chopper.
Yeah, basically machines that just mass-produce machines, and they haven't got any longevity in them. The machines don't expect to stay alive for very long because if they're destroyed, then they just make new machines. You just keep producing and
already
producing.
Built.
Yeah, and given that the Ghar themselves are all clones anyway, they're all basically duplicates of duplicates of duplicates. It doesn't really bother them. They only exist to fight. They exist to fight a war because that's all they are. They are a weapon system. These guys, you can see here, were designed to act as soldiers in a war. Many thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, to fight in a war between two races that we know absolutely nothing about because they don't exist anymore. But they were left behind, and they just carried on doing what they were programmed to do, which was fight. Very much like orcs in the 40k universe. And it reminds me for some reason of awesome episode of Star Trek where a planet-destroying machine flew into the Federation.
I never got into
planets. You never got into Star Trek?
No.
Oh, this is the original Star Trek, Doomsday Machine, which was my second all-time favourite episode of Star Trek, after the one with the Romulans, with the bird of prey. I can't remember the name of it. You know, my brain is just turned to mush. I've had tonsillitis. You know, whenever I do a video, I have to tell you how ill I've been recently. I've had tonsillitis for the last week, and so I haven't been able to film because I haven't been able to speak or swallow or drink.
So while he gathers his breath, I'll just tell you about this dice.
Yep.
You've probably seen these dice in our bolt action videos that you've seen us do. They have the exact same effects: run, fire, rally, etc. Down. The exact rules are for bolt action, because it's the same person who made it.
Yeah.
And
there's a very interesting side rule to the way that Antares works. Whereas bolt action, when you pick your dice out of the hat, it's your turn to go. You can not, instead of having one dice per squad, you can actually have several squads on one dice. And the reason behind that is you can have supporting squads. So Fartok could be over here, hiding behind a boulder, and this squad could be the one doing the actual fighting. But Fartok would be in support of this squad. So by activating this squad, that activates Fartok in support of that squad. And it makes a lot more sense when you're playing the game, because when you've got heavy weapons, you've got your heavy weapon teams. We haven't got any for these guys at the moment. We've only got the guys that are in the initial box for these at the moment. But we are going to get the Ghar box set. There's a box.
I believe you get 6 of them.
You get 6 of these in the initial game. But the Warlord Games do 2 different box sets for the guards. They do the standard small box set, which is about £50 in English money. And you get what was the original box set in it, which is it's about 5 squads. 5 squads and a unit of these guys, and I think there's a heavy weapons team as well. Then there's the larger army, which is about £75, £70 odd, and in that one you get a couple of additional regular squads. So it fleshes your army out. So you've got, all armies need regular infantry. When you look at any real army, most of the army is made up of riflemen, or what we call riflemen. They carry a lot more than rifles, but your regular infantry, and then you have your support troops who support the regular infantry, and your special forces and all that, and all different types of tanks and vehicles and things. And so this is sticking to the same principle, unlike 40k, which had the troop choice options. Whereas a lot of the standard troop choice options could actually be superior troops. I mean, you could have an army entirely made out of elite troops, whereas in reality you would have mostly regular guard or regular space marines, and then your upgraded troops. But it's complex. I think modern day 40k is slightly different. I think it's far more option orientated, isn't it?
Yeah.
The last few games we played before we stopped doing 40k, the new rulebooks that were coming out were certainly showing a lean more towards speciality in armies. I hope Antares doesn't go the same way as time goes on, because Antares is basically been designed and controlled by the fans, by the people who buy the figures, the people who play the game. I think it will be more geared towards bringing new things out that will support the game, rather than bringing things out so you can sell them.
I think it'll be a 60% chance of it going the same way as 40k, and 40% chance.
It will become big, and when it becomes huge, there's always that danger. Yeah, there's always a danger that companies will begin to act
and think
more towards making money than making a good game. Whereas this is all about the game, and it's at the moment it's all about the game, just as 40k was back in the Rogue Trader days. Yes, I am that old. I've got the original 40k Rogue Trader. You can't have it.
Why not?
Well, it's mine.
Well, it's mine now.
You've read it.
I'll inherit it.
Yeah, you'll inherit it when I'm over my dead body. Yeah, then you can have it. Yeah. Looking forward. So So overall, I haven't really got much to say about the Ghar at the moment because we've only got this squad done up, and they are not a complicated army. They're quite simple, and there's not a huge load of backstory to them. It's good the way that they have the you can have the characterization. The nearest thing you could get to the Ghar, I suppose, would be like the Necrons in 40k.
Oh god, I hated them.
Yeah, but
I couldn't win. I never won.
With the Necrons, you had the main characters in the game were sort of ancient dead heroes or ancient non-dead heroes, whereas in this you do have real characters coming out, if you get what I mean, which you will learn as you watch us play the game. Like Fartok himself, who is a guy who is a bit of a bumbling commander. He's not a bad commander, but he's just had bad luck. More than anything. It doesn't matter what you send into a battle. If you are outgunned, outnumbered and ambushed, you're probably going to lose. It's like tank versus tank in the Second World War. It doesn't matter how good and awesome your German tank is. If the American tank sees it first, the German dies.
Because the German sees the American tank first.
The American dies. Because a tank will fire at ranges where you can see each other, generally, you are within range to penetrate their armour. I think an American tank can penetrate a German at about 500 yards with the American 75, and the 75 is actually the best gun the Americans had. I know they had the 90mm, but the 90mm gun couldn't hit a German tank. It couldn't hit a barn, literally. Out of 1,000 rounds fired at a barn, not one hit. The 75 was a pretty good gun. And fire high explosive round, high piercing high explosive, it will go through the German tanks. If you see the German first, you fire first. By the time the Germans realise he's under fire, if he's not already dead, he's having a brown trousers moment. He's changing his underwear. He's been suddenly rudely awoken by the side of his tank going bang. He's changing his trousers and trying to find out who's shooting at him. By which time the American gets a second shot and you don't survive that. Same with the Germans. The Germans fire first, the American dies. That's just warfare. It's just what happens. It's the real world. It doesn't matter how good and awesome your tank is. At normal ranges where you can combat, you will lose if you don't go first.
Is there anything about the Ghar?
Yes, that's about Ghar.
Well, that squad anyway.
Well, this squad is just a basic assault squad, which means it's more designed to getting up to the enemy. Hence the rather awesome chunky power claw and the weaponry it's got. So it's really not necessarily a close combat system, but it's designed to get right up to the enemy, and it has the ability to do serious damage in combat.
So any advice if you're watching this video and you have Ghar or Freeborn, he has just advised you not to charge attack that's good. If you do, you can have a bad day.
Well, one of the great things about the Ghar army, the Ghar army, is that that every army has its own special quality, special thing that it does. The Ghar, when you get all these dice, these odd dice, and you have the odd dice for your army, and you have the odd dice for each squad in the enemy army, and you pick them at random out of a hat or bag. Right, so if you pick that one, then the other team goes first, and you can pick which unit goes. You know how this works if you play bolt action. But with the Ghar army, if you've got a Ghar army in play, you get an extra dice put into the box, into the bag. And if that dice is picked out, then the next time the enemy pick a dice out, that unit is stunned. It goes down. And the reason for this is Ghar weaponry doesn't entirely operate on our plane of existence. Ghar weaponry fires in the sub-universe, as it were.
Well, it was.
Yeah, different dimensions. The next dimension is closer to you than the clothes out to your skin, basically, in real science. So...
That's not fires then?
No. It's literally here. We're surrounded by the next dimension.
Why is it if you're wearing a sweater, what's really tight?
Because the other dimension isn't actually where we are. We occupy the same. All the dimensions occupy the same space, but at a different time.
Okay, that's not
it's
science.
complicated.
That's not science.
It's science. It's string theory and all that stuff.
A lot of science.
Yeah, look up some YouTube videos on it. So basically, when one of these guns fires, for the next 100 years or so, that area where the gun's fired goes all wibbly wibbly timey wimey.
So anyone on the other end of the gun is going to have a bad day.
And anyone fighting a battle or even living on the planet 100 years after the battle is going to have a brown trousers moment while walking through a field and suddenly been intercepted by a gun that fired 100 years ago. Because it's weird. So basically, the entire battlefield, wherever these guys are, the entire battlefield is covered in weird, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, weirdy stuff. So
Which I guess are very powerful.
Yes, and your squad basically walks into the weird, wibbly, timey-wimey thing.
And you don't see it.
You can't see it, but your squad goes down. Basically, they don't die. They're classed as having a down order on your dice. So the order has to be down. So if you're charging forwards or doing whatever you want to do, attacking the enemy, your squad just goes down because they're having a surreal moment. They're having a wibbly, timey-wimey moment, and they don't quite know what's going on, and their heads are fried. And
so you have to wait for another hour for them to get back into action.
Yeah, so then you have to wait a few minutes or seconds for the squad to pull themselves together and get out of the timey-wimey field.
Before they get shot at.
Yes. Before and get moving, yeah. But while they're in the field, they're technically classed as down, which means they get additional points towards their cover save.
But they can't charge me.
No, they can't charge you.
It gives me time.
But the actual effect of the timey-wimey, spacey-wacy field actually protects them from fire. So there is a benefit to it.
It benefits you and it benefits me?
It benefits both of you. But it's also bad if you're the attacking player.
Yes, because if you wanted to get straight at them and finish them off, because if that unit's already wounded and it gets downed, it's a target.
Yeah, and that could make... So basically, with this additional dice that you get in the Ghar box, you will find yourself... you can have this random chance thing happen, which will affect the roll of the game.
You probably have to roll one, don't you?
Yeah, well, you have to plan around it. You have to play around it.
If you do have to roll one, it's going to be a lot around the battlefield because I always prefer rolls.
Yeah, you and your dice rolling is awful, but you don't have to roll. All you do is if you get the dice is in the box, which is in the other room. If you get that dice out, then that means your next squad is affected by either one of these weapons that's happened today in the game, or something that happened previously and it's just hanging around. So yeah, it can make the games quite interesting. And you will see all this happen when we show you us actually playing a game. We'll do a game video when all the figures are painted up and we'll show you how they work. So this is an end to this video. I hope you like the figures so far. I hope we've shown you them quite well. I think the camera's quite not too bad today. Has a bit of funny days, our camera does sometimes.
And if you want to see a battle done on that soon, just put in comments down below and we'll...
Yep. We'll open up a new Q&A if you're interested in this stuff. If you ask a lot of questions, we'll open up a Q&A for Gates of Antares, which will run along the same lines as our Hail Caesar thing.
We'll have to make a new playlist.
We'll have to make a new playlist for it because we have a lot of Hail Caesar questions.
And we have Hail Caesar questions. We've had to get ball taxi questions again.
And we've got ball taxi questions to do. So we are a bit overwhelmed at the moment with stuff, but we don't worry. We're going to get
We've been very busy, which is why videos aren't becoming a day. And he's been very ill. Yeah,
my tonsils went yellow and everything.
And it doesn't help. We've also redecorating everything.
Oh yeah.
We haven't got as much time to do videos as we normally do.
Yeah, my beloved half has decided to redecorate the bathroom because it's New Year's, and she said let's redecorate the bathroom. So we've been a bit busy with that as well because you try and decorate around silly shaped objects you get in your bathroom. It's annoying.
And if anyone in your channel is following my channel at the moment, like because you told them to do it on my channel.
Yeah.
I'll be starting doing videos on Saturday.
Yeah, you haven't been making new videos recently because you've been
busy.
You weren't well, and then we've just had an awful time. It's been a bad end of the year, and I hope this year's going to be better.
It started going downhill after collapse.
Yeah. So we'll get it all sorted. Your channel is? You forgot the name of your channel.
Mine, Mega Craft Miner. I was trying to bring
Mine,
Mega
Craft Miner.
No spaces.
Yeah, check it out. He basically plays games and stuff falls out of his head while he plays the games.
No.
It's basically
And
what
if
happens.
you wanted to sneak peek of what I will recording, it's going to be Minecraft Story Mode. That's only if you're interested.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a new Minecraft Story Mode, but we've also got some stuff on Halo and stuff coming out as well. But that's his stuff. I'm not getting involved in that stuff. I'm sticking to the gaming side.
I'm a solo player.
Yeah, you're going to do that on your own. Although we're going to be doing some two-person things.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how good I am.
I wonder how it's going to go.
And I'm going to show you how good I am in SWAT and how rubbish he is. So, that'd be good.
Depends what game we're playing.
SWAT.
No, we're not.
Right. So that is the I've already said before.
Right, so,
sidetrack.
Comment down. It's awesome.
I'm going now. I'm going to
put comments down below for Q&A. We'll ask them in the Q&A. This will be probably Gates and Antares Q&A plus some of that, or any Hail Caesar questions or anything like that.
Hail Caesar! Sorry.
Get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And subscribe for if you want more content and you like us and leave a like if you like the video.
And if you like Gates of Antares and you've seen that Gates of Antares has been coming out, I know I'm really hyper about Gates of Antares because I've been waiting for it for over a year, more than a year now. We've been waiting for it to come out, and I've been waiting to get into this. And
when it did come out, triples had just come and we spent all the money.
Yeah. November. It came out in November. And I forgot what date it came out. I had the date in my diary and everything and on my desktop. But it's out now, and if you're remotely interested, if you've seen it and you've heard of it and you don't really know much about it, I hope these videos are going to help you get into it. And you'll be able to see the figures and see how I've painted them up and give you ideas for doing your own stuff. So thank you very much for watching. It's been brilliant. This has been Vespasian and my awesome trusty sidekick.
Yep.
Good day.
See ya.